Well, hello there. Welcome to my video about The Long Dark. As you know, in the past 4 or 5 months I've been gone. I have been playing an online mobile game. I've tried to make this video about a dozen times, and every time I start to make it, I either forget to turn on the OBS. Hey, let's check it out and see if I started it. Well, what do you know I did? Okay, so the reason why I have not been able to get this going is because every time I start to make one, it violates the rules of YouTube. Now, YouTube says that I cannot list the name of the game. I cannot list the players' names, the state, the alliance, any of that stuff. It's actually forbidden. If I were to list all those names, what happens is YouTube considers it a target harassment. Even though these people harassed and bullied me in a video game, if I list them, it would instill upon my faithful and loyal followers to go to that game, sign up, find them, and harass them. And the problem with that concept is unless you have $5,000 to $10,000 to build a base, after you spend all that time with the onboarding ridiculous little storyline that you have to follow through, let's say you have 3 weeks to do all that and you have $10,000, then maybe you could actually attack them. Maybe you could make a dent in their world, but chances are it's not going to happen. You're not going to be able to combat anyone. You're not going to be able to bully anyone because these people have been playing this game for upwards to 6 months. They've put in upwards between $5,000 to $10,000 each. It's not going to happen. They're all together. They're all in one alliance, and they're all ready to take you on. People show up. True story. People show up in their state right now, and they start making a little bit of waves, and they think it's me. I'm the most hated person in their state. These people are so paranoid. They attack innocent players and they force the players to quit. That's how pathetic they are. But again, cannot list the name, the player, or anything like that. And if I were to go onto YouTube, I found my name listed in a video that they made of me, I could get their channels deleted and banned from YouTube permanently. So it goes both ways. It's not like I can't say anything. They can't say anything either. But I'm going to guess, and this is a wild guess, that the majority of these people, they don't have a YouTube channel. They don't know how to make a YouTube channel, and they don't know how to stream live. Because when I did mention that to one of them, they left me alone. So just the fact that I said I'm going to live stream our play through my phone to YouTube, it made them back off. Ah, the power of YouTube. Going viral about a subject matter nobody really cares about. So, because I can't utilize any of that those specific information, we're going to play this game, and I'm just going to walk through it, and then I'm going to just, show you some things. This game has been around for 6 years, 7 years maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time I've had this game, and I really, really like it. It's single player. They had talked about making multiple player, but I don't think that's going to happen. The devs basically said, you know what? We've come to the end. We made the storyline. It's a playable game. There's 6 chapters. We're going to step back and work on other things. We're not going to let the game go. We're not going to, if there are any updates, it's probably just fixing the sandbox. But for the most part, we're going to work on other projects, which is completely understandable. This is a really great company that makes this video game. And I think it's Hinter Studios. I might have said that wrong. But anyway, and we're going to talk a little bit about the video game that I just recently uninstalled. Yep, I'm no longer playing it at all. In fact, I'm asked my wife to hold me accountable so I don't go crawling back to it. But I uninstalled it, and I can't, unfortunately, delete my account. I've tried several times, but their criteria for deleting it is ridiculous. They want to see my very first purchase I made 4 months ago. I don't have record of that. And then they wanted me to make large purchases 1 month at a time. Again, no, I'm not giving you more money to quit. It's kind of like my gym membership. I tried to quit Planet Fitness, and they told me I have to pay them $58 to quit. To quit? Okay, whatever. Anyway, let's play this game a little bit, and then we'll talk about some of the behaviors and the situations that I was put in, what I was accused of, what actually really happened, and where I am today. Okay, so right now, on the bottom you can see there are 4 symbols. One looks at the first one's a thermometer. That's how cold you can get. The next one is the eyeball. That's how awake you are. The next one is a drop. That's if you're thirsty or not. And the last one shows you if you're hungry. And then the bar on the bottom, that's your health. And then if you look all the way up to the top, you can see there's a little house with a Y in it. That is a new feature where you can actually clean up the house that you're in. If you're in sometimes there's a house, sometimes you're in it's like a bunker. That's another option. Sometimes you're in a building. I'd have to say the best shelters are the ones that have doors that close. The windows are always closed. You can't open them. They don't break either. You can be in a car. That's also not the best place to be, but if it was the only shelter you had, given the dynamics of this particular game, that is actually some place you can hang out in. The key is having enough clothing and layers that's going to protect you from the cold. Because I don't know about you if you've ever slept in a car before, but cars have vents. There's ways for the cold outside to get into your car. You know, the windows are not the best in a car either. You do get a sleeping bag. As you progress with the game, it's possible to create a sleeping bag made from the fur of a bear, which is the warmest. And then, but we'll get into that. So I got to take care of the things at the bottom. So the first thing we're going to do is we can't see. So I'm going to open up my inventory, which is the letter I. I'm on a keyboard and a mouse. And these are all the things that I have. So overall, as you can see where it says all, we're going to scroll down to the house on the bottom, this guy right here. That is things that you would collect from your location. So if there's a painting or a rug, something I wanted to take, I could. There's a special way to do that. But that would be kept in here. I don't have any decorations. I haven't made any. That's also something along down the road. The next one is materials. These are things like cloth, which you can create by ripping things up that are made of cloth, or you find them laying around for some reason. And then there's a crow feather. They're usually found around the dead bodies or dead animals. Again, that's something we'll find later. Tools. Tools is interesting because the weapons are found in here. Here's the, I have some bullets for the revolver. In my opinion, the rifle is better than the revolver, but the revolver is a lot easier to find a lot of times. In my opinion, The pry bar is probably one of your most important things you can find in the game. Now, you would argue with me and say it's probably the hatchet because you can chop wood and you can chop up pallets and stuff with it. But the pry bar, that opens up trunks in cars. And there's some cars in the game, if you don't have a pry bar, you can't get in the trunk. Who knows what you're missing in the trunk? Here's the sleeping bag I was talking about. It's a bedroll, it's downfilled. You get it when you start the game. Regardless of what level you're on, you already get one of these, I believe. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I have food and drink. Some of the food is in okay condition. Like this one says, this chocolate bar says it's 87%. And these ketchup chips, which I understand in Canada are pretty good, 98%. However, you have this can of soda that's at 34%. Now keep in mind, it's sweet carbonated drink full of high fructose corn syrup. Chances are it's not going to go bad. However, this moldy granola bar could make you sick. It all depends on the game mechanics at the point in time when you eat it. Sometimes you can eat this stuff and you're okay. Other times you eat it, you get really, really sick. And if you get really sick, you're going to hope that you have some antibiotics. It's really important to know the things that you really should have and the things you don't really need. But let's go back to the food. Now, I don't have a can opener. I don't have a knife. If I had a can opener or if I had a hunting knife, it would appear here in my tools section. Because I don't have that, I can't open up this dusty condensed milk. What's going to happen is I'm going to have a waste of this ingredient. So I don't want to open up any cans that I don't have anything to open the can with. You'd think with a hatchet I could open it up, but that's not the way the game mechanics works. So I have peanut butter, and I have a bunch of potatoes. I cannot eat them raw. I don't know, can you eat a raw potato? I can't. But you can eat this carrot. And it's noisy. Even though it's 34%, for some reason, I'm not going to get sick off of a 34% carrot. But I'm still going to eat it. Alrighty. You also have cans of tuna fish. Don't eat the lower percentage on these because you will always get sick. Also, saltine crackers. They're salty, they're crackers, you eat them, it makes you thirsty. Some things, when you eat them, it doesn't make you thirsty at all. Like a carrot, there's probably some kind of water source in it. But, these are just the basic kind of things. But you notice that I also was thirsty. So let's have some water. And it has to be potable. If it's kind of murky and gross looking, it's going to make you sick. So you always have to make sure you drink water that is safe to drink. You melt the snow, which there's an abundance of, but then you have to boil it. But we'll also get into that later. So we're going to drink some of that. Sometimes if I have a lot of soda, then I'll drink the soda before I drink the water. I know it doesn't sound very healthy in our life, but if you're thirsty and on the go and all you have is sodas, then drink the sodas. The sodas also have calories in them, which counts towards your hunger. So that's a bonus point. So sodas actually work really good when it comes to drinking something that's going to help improve both your hunger and your thirst. So I should be good to go. The only other thing on here is we don't have a lot of first aid. I put away in a storage locker all of my stuff for making a fire. I'm inside of the house. I don't need to make a fire. Sometimes it gets cold inside the house, or maybe you've been out in the cold too much and you need to warm up. Those are all really important. A lot of times you'll find a shelter that doesn't have a door or it has open windows, and it's really cold inside as much as it is outside. You think, I'm inside of a shelter, I've got these walls around me, but if you've got an open door and you don't have enough of the right kind of clothing on, you're still going to freeze to death. So just keep that in mind when it comes to making fires, to always kind of walk around with like a book, a stack of papers, and I prefer to start fires with wooden strike anywhere matches. The other ones, they seem to be a little more flimsy. I use them for lighting things like the lantern or to light the torches. But if I'm going to make a fire, I try to use these because, well, they're made of wood. The other ones are made of paper. I don't know. It's just a personal choice. But let's scroll down to our clothing. So these are all the items of clothing that I currently have. They come in different percentages of where they are as far as if they need any mending or anything like that. The wool toque is the best one. There is a wool beanie, there's a cotton beanie. Not as great. It's still doable, but it's not like this one. Plus, it has the Canadian flag on it, so it looks kind of cool. And, you know, it is what it is. So these are all the things that are in my backpack. Okay? So if you look at it from an all, these are all the things I'm carrying around on my back. It's 42 pounds. I can carry up to 66. At some point, this number is going to go up. That's because I've rested, I'm well fed, and so it gives me some bonus points. So at the top here, there's all these symbols. So the first one, that's me. There I am. Ooh. And it tells you, again, it's going to tell you I'm tired, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, I'm cold. But I don't have any afflictions. The temperature around me is 43. Because I'm wearing these particular clothing, I'm at 38. So that's safe. If it was 32 or below, that's not safe. And then we're going to look at... Oh, this also shows me what's going on outside. So the temperature, or the time period outside. So it's basically midnight. I don't know why this game mechanics does this, but it seems like the nighttime is a lot longer than the daytime. So if you're the kind of person who wants to do things during the daytime and sleep at night, good luck. Because even if you go to bed when it starts to get dark, it's still going to be dark when you wake up. So one way or another, you're going to have to be doing things in the dark. And that's why it's good to have torches or flares, or there's only so much oil that you can have that's going to light your lanterns. There's ways to make oil for that, and that's to go fishing. And when you fish something, or I think also fishing and possibly hunting, I'm not really sure about that. All right. The next thing over is, here's where you dress your guy up. So take that, and we're going to take that off. I'm going to take off his... Basically, we're gonna get crazy here. Yep, he needs a tan. It's true. Take off your boots. You've got 2 pairs of socks. Take off your jeans. All right. Well, we're gonna leave his we'll leave his underwear on. Okay, so let's go back to this. It's 23 degrees inside the room where I'm currently at. As you can see, it feels like 25. And there's no wind chill. That's because I'm inside a building. But it's 25 degrees, which means my temperature gauge up at the top here, as slow as it is, it's eventually going to go down. Because this needs to read 32 or higher. So we're going to make that go up by clicking on my toque, and we'll click on my, it'll give me the option. It says the worn combat boots. I want to wear that. Put on some socks. We'll put our pants back on. You just click on it, say wear. You want to make sure that you have the best kind of gloves that you can get. And the way that you know they're the best kind is you come down here to this information on the bottom. It says how it gives you a temperature. You get plus 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit. There's a wind chill. There's rain. And it'll tell you. You just run your mouse over the top of it. It'll tell you what each one of these are for. So although the fleece mittens are cool and everything, the wool mittens are better. And there's like a gauntlet you can wear once you find it. All this stuff, you have to find all this stuff. Can you make it? You can make it if you hunt. You got to hunt. You got to figure out how you're going to hunt. It could be with a bow and arrow, but you have to make the arrows. You have to make the bow. Are you going to do it with a gun? You got to find the gun. You got to find the bullets. You run out of bullets, there's ways to make more bullets, but you got to find the right table. Then you got to find the right ingredients. Everything's a process in this game. Nothing is really, I mean, some things are handed to you, granted, that's great, but for the most part, you got to find everything. And that's the beauty of the game. That's where am I going to find it? What things am I going to find that I don't need? Every time you find something, the character will say, oh, I could really use this. Can you, though? Can you really use it? I don't know. So, we're going to go ahead and dress our guy back up. Alright, he needs, let's see. He needs to wear his worn down vest. Alright, that's pretty much where we were at. Let's look at our guy. 38%. He's nice and warm for now. Let's see. Our backpack. These are blueprints on how to make things. So when I have the right ingredients to make things, I can make the things listed on here. And you just go down the list. Right now, the only kind of, see, you can make a bearskin coat, but you need to have guts, and you need to have hide, and you need to go hunt a bear. So if you don't like to hunt animals, this is probably not the game for you. There's a cougar. In this version of what I'm playing, I've turned the cougar off. It's just, there's something wrong about the way the mechanics of the game with the cougar works. So I'm not sure if he works, if he shows up in other versions of the game, I mean other levels. But in the Pilgrim level, as far as I know, he doesn't show up. There's lots and lots of deer, so you can make boots, pants, crampons is something you want to get. I need scrap metal and cured leather, and then I need a workbench. My house doesn't have a workbench in it. I'm going to have to go someplace that has a workbench. Hand wraps, head wrap. That's if I didn't have gloves, and I could use scraps of cloth to make those. There's moose. I added a moose into this game. He makes a lot of noise. He's kind of scary. Unlike the deer that run away from you, the moose don't run away from you. They run toward you, and then they attack you. Chances are you get broken ribs, and then you're going to have blood loss. You'll need bandages and some peroxide, maybe some antibiotics or pain relievers, any one of those kind of things. And then you just have to rest because, well, you're super injured. So moose, unless you have a weapon, I would stay completely away from them. Rabbits are really hard to kill. It is possible to hit it, stun it, pick it up, and snap its neck. Again, if you love animals and you're a vegan or you don't want to hurt animals, this is probably not the game for you. You're going to have to eventually kill animals to survive because your can of beans is only going to last so long. I have gone through this game on different occasions and erased and collected all of the snacks and the cans of stuff and bags of stuff, and eventually have to rely simply on fishing and hunting in order to survive. And that's what this game is all about. It's all about survival. It's not about going to the grocery store and picking up a can of Pringles and hoping they're not moldy. It's about survival. It's really what it is. And also, you don't waste anything when you kill an animal, like they probably do here in the real world, but you kill a rabbit, and then you get the meat, and then you get the guts, which can be turned into something else after they've been preserved, or cured is another word for it. And then you take the fur, and you can take the fur and turn it into a hat or into mittens. The same with wolves. Wolves can be turned into coats. So, like I said, you could think if you're an animal lover and you don't want to hunt animals, you love animals, but just remember that in the wild, animals want to eat you. I mean, not rabbits or deer, but the moose and the wolf. There's also timber wolves and also the cougar, and especially the bear. They don't care what you are. They don't care who you are. They don't care who you think you are. They are your food for them. So you kind of have to make a choice. That's not the only reason not to play this game, but it's a big one for a lot of people. All right. So the great newest thing that they put into this game is you can now make recipes. It used to be that you could open up a can of beans and eat it. You boil water, add coffee to it, you make coffee. That basically was it. But they turned this game into something else. Now you can make rabbit stew, you can make porridge, because you can find oatmeal, cooking broth, and regular broth. Sometimes when you kill an animal, and then you're gonna have to carve it up. Yes, it gets a little graphic. Just turn away if you don't want to see it. I promise I won't kill any animals to show you. And then you get a little layer of fat, and then you can melt the fat down, turns into cooking oil. I think that's the only thing you can use it for. It does say you can eat it, but that's only if you're desperate, and it's kind of gross and makes you sick. So I don't recommend that, but you can eat the broth, or you can turn the broth into something else. So you can see what you need. You need water, salt, and then you need a ptarmigan. I think that's how you say it. It's a little bird. And honestly, I don't know how you catch them. I see them all the time. They're super annoying, but I don't know if you're supposed to shoot them or throw a rock at them or what you're supposed to do. So I haven't figured that one out yet. There's trout stew. Yes, it looks like vomit. I get it, but that's what it is. You can also cook the fish. Just cook the fish up and just eat the fish. You can make all kinds of things, and so it's a cooking pot. There's a skillet. You can make pancakes. You can make peach pie. You can make other kinds of pies. It's really kind of cool. And then no tool required. You can make a bannock, which is a type of bread, and then a regular one. Again, all of these are things you learn to do as you go. So at first you can't make pancakes for some reason. At first, all you can do is cook a potato. And then after a while, your skill set goes up, and then other recipes open up. You find recipes all over the place on cards, and then that's another way to go about learning how to do stuff. So I really like this aspect of it, that you can actually now cook things. This is your journal. It tells you where you've been. It tells you what percentage of the world you've explored, how many hours you've rested, your condition, how many calories you burned, how many injuries you sustained. I'm on day 2, so that's where we are. It shows me my skills, what level they are all. They're all pretty basic. Collections, you collect notes, you read them, you keep them. There's transmitters that you get to fix. Like I said, there's recipes. You can take pictures as long as you have the camera and you have film. Mementos are things that you pick up, and it gives you an idea where there's a secret stash of something. Cairns are these rock piles that you find. These buffer memories are inside of computers. There has to be a special event that goes on. It's basically the Northern Lights happens. When that happens, all the electricity turns on. If you're near a computer, it might give you a memory or some kind of information, and that'll be added onto this list right here. And then surveyed locations, again, that's a location where there's actually this little symbol at. You could stand on it, you look around, and then that'll be added to this list. Are they beneficial? I don't know, maybe. But for the most, it keeps a tally of all these collections. Again, rock caches. That's those. These are special bunkers that are located in the game, and the game will randomly place them. So just because I happen to know where one of them is, and it's always there, that's a lucky draw, I guess you could say. I'll show you where one of them is. There might be something in it. If there is, we can live in it. If there's not, it's just a pile of rubble, and then we just said we went to it. Notes. I can make notes here. Okay, well, I guess we'll do that. All right, that's my note. I said woo. Yep, there it is. Notes are for things like if you play the game and then you leave, but you want to make sure that you remember this is what I was doing when I left. This is a great place to do it. It gives you an opportunity for you to tell yourself what exactly were you doing when you played the game last. I wish I had used this for a lot of my games because a lot of times I'll leave and come back and I can't remember why I was even doing anything in the game. This is an overall view of the stats. I did not give this game a name. It's just sandbox number 4. It's my current one, so it's going to be in this list. And then over here on all time, you can see that I have 56 days all time high as far as how many days I have survived. And then it gives you a bunch of other details. 56 days. I've been chemically poisoned 115 times, but I've lived through 14 blizzards. That is an overall combination of all my games together. So I've had a lot of games. Some games I've deleted. The most I've ever I've explored in this particular game is 26%, which is not a whole lot. There's some portions of this game and the maps where I cannot get to, or I don't know how to traverse because I don't have the skill set to do it. That's just something you learn through the game. And even though I've played this game for about 5 years, that's not a really great progression. But this just tells you the distance traveled in miles, and this is walking. Everything is walking. There are no cars, no skateboards, no bicycles. There's nothing. You're a lot of hiking and walking. So you can understand why our characters are going to be a little on the lean side because you're going to burn it up through walking, not eating a whole lot. A lot of starving is going to go on, and you're just going to be actually really fit in this game. I mean, that's just the way it goes. And then after stats, this is the map. So currently, I haven't made a mark on the map. The way you make a mark is you take a piece of charcoal and you survey. All right, so we can't do it at night, unfortunately. So we're gonna go back to, all right, so we can't see anything. So we're gonna go down here and we'll get our torch. And we're gonna hit our left mouse button. We're gonna light it. And now we have light. Now we can see what's going on. Okay, my torch is not gonna last very long. So I'll just give you a little heads up. Here we are. This is my dirty house that I found. I haven't searched every inch of it. I'm gonna wait until it gets light before I do that. Oh, here's a soda can.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness, I'll take that. All right. We have to keep an eye on the bar next to the torch and that little symbol off to the right corner. And that tells you how much time I have left in this particular torch before it completely runs out. So this is pretty much my house. Not much. And that's okay. I'll show you more when it's daylight. There's my bed. There's nothing underneath my bed. Oh, what's down here?
I could use this.
Yep, it's a rifle cartridge. So my torch is almost out. Let's eat something. Get a carrot. Alright. Let's drink some soda. Let's take the worst one. Yeah, that was good. All right. And my torch is out. Okay, so my torch went out, and so now it's useless. All I can really do is throw it on the ground. I might be able to burn it. I'm not really sure if there's much value in that. But you can see I'm really tired. So we are going to, while it says bed in the middle with the dot, that means that's where the bed is. As long as you can see the word and the dot, I can click with my right click on the bed, and now I can tell it how long I want to sleep. So I'm going to sleep for about 5 hours. The symbol up here to the right, that is playing cards. So that's how long I'm going to just lollygag instead. The one on the left is how long I'm going to sleep. So you get to choose which one. Now when you sleep, everything kind of slows down. But when you rest, everything kind of goes the same rate. Okay, so I want to sleep for 5 hours. We'll click on that and see how long it takes. We'll see if it's daylight when I wake up. Alrighty, I've survived 1 day, 1 hour, and 31 minutes. I'm a little thirsty, I'm still a little tired, and I'm a little hungry. The way it works in this game is, oh, and see the sun is up. But if you listen, just listen. The wind is blowing, things are rattling. It's either really windy and sunny, or it's blizzarding and snowy. There's a huge difference. So we're just going to take a moment here and listen to the sound of the weather while I eat the rest of my cake. What a mess. What a crazy, awful mess. So here's a new feature in this game. Crazy, awful mess. You hit the letter Y, and now it tells you want to clear the junk. Boop. All the junk is cleared from the house. That was just stuff on the floor. Okay? While it's still in Y, you leave that up. You can click on something, and now you can tell it to take it or destroy it. It will tell you how much it will cost. 5 minutes, 9 calories. And now it's gone. Some things cannot be destroyed. Some things you can destroy it on your own. So let's say we want to destroy this plant. It's dead, it's not going to come back. Boom, it's gone. The carrot doesn't count because it doesn't need to be adjusted or anything like that. So if I wanted to clear anything out, I can't do anything. I'm right clicking on the fridge. Can I destroy non-empty containers? Okay. Because there's something in that, I can't destroy it. Another thing I can do is I can click on this broken door. So see how it's not highlighted in blue? But it is broken. So I can click on it and I can repair it. And look at that. Now it's all repaired. Same thing with this one. Let's see if this one can be fixed. Yep. Skill, repair skill. All right, so we're going to turn Y off. And we're turn it off. And now, let's go back to this door. Look at that, it opened up. And now we can store stuff in it. I think that's a really cool feature, especially cabinets and stuff that are like that. The door that's just sitting here, there's nothing I can do with it. It's just going to sit there. You don't really use the counter space. But, so some things, like I have an axe. I want to break up this chair. In 1 hour on 112 calories, it will yield 4 reclaimed wood, which I can use to make a fire, or later on I can use it to make a snare if I have other components to add to it. But keep in mind, my hatchet, I don't have a sharpening stone yet. So you want to keep an eye on how much you use your hatchet, because I've only gotten one hatchet. If I don't have a sharpening stone, eventually it will go dull and it will become useless. So I could scroll here and use my hand, but it'll take 2 hours. It's the same yield, but we're going to use the hatchet and we're going to break it down. Now I could have, while I was in Y, break it down or destroy it, but then I lose the wood. And I kind of want that wood. Okay? So, that's a little bit about why. And what I like to personally do is use the cabinets. So I'm going to make this house my home base. When it comes to the food things, I like to, it's weird, I'm so OCD. I like to organize everything. So one cabinet has snacks, one cabinet has ingredients that I can turn into something else. One cabinet has, I don't know, cans of stuff. I just like to have it organized. So in this cabinet, we're going to put all of the snacky things. I like to always make sure that if it has a percentage on it, I keep it with me. So I want to keep all the things that are still technically good in my cabinet. That's just a personal preference. Things with high calories or things that are like these crackers, I would keep that on me just because if I need something while I'm out exploring and I don't find any food, then I have something quick to get into. The same thing with these cans of sardines. It's just a flip top and you lift it off. They're easy to get into. It's not like my can of beans, which are banged up, and I'm probably not going to eat them anyways. Even if they're cooked, they still have an issue. It's kind of weird. But, you know, in the real world, if you had something that was moldy and nasty or something that was old, you know, you could probably open it up and check it. If it's dented, there may or may not be a problem with it if it was cooked. But sometimes it's almost better. There's also dog food you can find, and trust me, I'd rather eat dog food than moldy old beans. But anyways, let's put all the cans in this one. Technically, peanut butter is not a can, but we're going to do it. And I don't have a, like I said, I don't have a can opener. I don't want to carry the things with cans with me. Let's put that guy there. They're obviously not going to be labeled. I'm just going to have to remember where they are. And then down here, so this stove that I have is wood-based. So you light a fire, and it has 6 things on top. It's super great because I don't have to cook one thing at a time. If I have enough containers, I can cook 6 potatoes. I can cook 6 fish. I can cook 6 steaks of, whatever kind of flesh I have from an animal. It's super great. So anytime you have a stove that has 6 stovetop things on it, that's a bonus round. So I love this stove. And we'll cook stuff on it later. But right now, we're just going to keep filling up our cabinets. So this one is going to be designated for things that are wood related. So let me go back and get my... anything that is fire related. I know people don't like to burn books, but you know what? Whatever. This house has a lot of books. These books right here, field dressing your kill, that you read that, you get better skills of killing or carving up animals. This one is how to use a gun. This one is how to make bullets. I've never made a bullet, so I don't really know how you do it, but that's how you do it. You need what's called a forge and a special gun. There's a special a special device you use to make bullets that's not in every single map. So that's why I don't know how to do it. So we're gonna take what we have. We're gonna come over here and look, we have all these books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this magic, that one, there you go. I call it magic because there's no gravity sometimes in this game. We'll take the papers. Oh goody. Something I might need later. Alright, so we're going to come over here and we're going to put in the cabinet right next to the oven all the things that start a fire. So the reason why I do this kind of anal retention kind of stuff is I don't have to keep walking back and forth to get stuff to light my fire. It's, convenient for me to just reach in here, grab the things I need. Papers are great for fire starting. Sticks are great for fires. They're also great to make an ice shelter or a snow shelter in case you're out and about hiking around and you run into a storm or you need a quick shelter. 15 sticks, and I believe it's 5 pieces of cloth, and you can make a snow shelter. Again, I'll tell you that in a bit. But right now, we're going to put the sticks in here because sticks are pretty much found in abundance. Matches, until I get a lot of matches, I'm not going to put any matches in my cabinet. I'm always going to carry my matches on me. You just never know if you need to have a match for something, for any reason. Maybe I'll find a lantern, maybe I'll find a torch. So I want to make sure I'm carrying my matches with me. When I get like 150 matches, I'll put matches in my cabinet. Okay, so I'm down to 36 pounds. I have 66 pounds. So let's go look outside. We can always see what time it is by hitting our inventory, coming up to our little stick figure. It's noon. See how quick it got to noon? All right. So yeah, I'll clean this up later. You walk up to the door, you hit it, you hit your left mouse button, you exit the door. Just remember that the next time a bear is chasing you and you need to get into a room really quick. Because see how long it takes for it to go to the next screen? At least you're in the process of opening the door and leaving. Alrighty. The region is Mountain Town. I am at a... I should know the name of this, but I don't. But I'm on this, I'm at this farm. Okay, so you can hear the crows, and when they're circling above, that means a dead animal or a dead person. All right, so let's go find out. So keep an eye on the bottom left. As you can see where it says temperature is now going down because it's cold out here. Let's see how cold it is. We'll hit inventory, stick figure. It is 13 degrees outside. The wind chill is -8. It feels like 27. I don't have warm enough clothes to make this say 32. I'm eventually going to freeze to death. I'm also, for some reason, kind of tired. It says rested. But let's go ahead and have some soda. I always like to be at the top of everything as often as I can. The reason why is because you never know if you need to run or you're just going to walk around or what. You never know what you're going to come in contact with. Keep in mind as you walk. Okay, so see that on the right, the far right? Okay, that weird angle, it's red. That means that you're walking at an angle that you could actually strain your ankles or your hands, your arms. Sorry, you can strain your ankles or your wrists. I don't know how it strains your wrists, but it can if you're not careful. So don't run up hills unless you have a crampon. Crampons are metal things you attach to the bottom of your shoes, and they help you to traverse up and down hills. Alrighty, we have a dead body here. First thing you're going to do is you're going to search him, and he's got nothing on him. And that's pretty typical. Now you're going to search his backpack. Oh goody, we got a Polaroid picture or something. That's going to go under our collections. And now it has Mountain Town Vista. All right. Let's go back into our backpack. So yesterday or last night, I have a ruined torch. It's burned out. That means I can't use it as a torch anymore. I could. Let's see, my actions are, I can harvest it. And now I have a stick. Cool. That's a great thing about this game is it's trying to really teach us that everything can be used. Everything, as long as it's natural, can be recycled, reused, refurbished, turned into something else. It's not all about the waste that we live in currently. Okay. Circling. Those circling birds up there, that means that they're going to drop crow feathers. You'll want to pick those up. Usually there's 2 or 3 of them. Yeah, we're at the Paradise Meadows Farm. I don't... I don't see another crow feather. There might be another one around here, but... Alright. Now, we're going to hit Y. Ooh. There's supposed to be a way for me to remove him, but maybe there isn't a way in the wild. Okay, so let's go back down here. Okay, these are maple saplings. I can turn these either into arrows or into a bow. So I'm going to go ahead and chop them down. They are not going to grow back. All right. So like I said before, there are sticks all over the place. Always, 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 always carry your hatchet with you. Carry your you always want to carry your hatchet with you, your crowbar, sometimes there's a hacksaw. You may or may not need to always carry that with you. Also your hunting knife. Always carry those with you. Because you never know if you happen to be out and about and there happens to be a dead animal that you could harvest from or a tree that you can chop down. Because when I chopped down that limb, I just got a bunch of firewood. Firewood is what we want to keep our, we want our fires to keep going. Those are those ptarmigans. Ptarmigans, I'm not really sure how you say that. They're the little birds. Again, like I said, I don't know how you capture them. So I'm not gonna worry about them. Here's another limb. You just wait until it says what it is over the top, and there's a little dot, and then you can chop it. Keep in mind also your surroundings. When you go to chop things down 45 minutes, it can go from sunny skies to a blizzard almost instantly. So like if I was not facing the direction of my house and a blizzard came down, I could easily wander off into the blizzard, get lost, and die. So you always want to make sure you know exactly where your house is or your location that you've made to be your settlement. But the last thing you want to do is get lost in a storm. And trust me, I've been lost plenty of times in a storm. It's not fun. Anything and anything that can be used. Alright, so we have a couple crates here. I'm not going to use my hatchet. It's only 15 minutes, I'm going to use my hands. So there's one. Don't want to use the hatchet. You can't cut a limb with your hands. You can't cut a limb with a hunting knife. It has to be a hatchet. So just like everything else, enter vehicle, left click. All right, we're inside a car. This car does not work. It's never going to work. We're done. You can enter the car, you can leave the car. The car has visors. You open up the visors. Sometimes there might be something in here. Chances are there's not. Case in point, whenever I enter a vehicle and I look around and I check all the different components of it, if I leave the visors down, the next time I enter the car, I'll know, oh, I've already been in the car. So I don't put the visors back up. It's just a good way to say, it saves you time from entering a car a second time. There's another thing I like to do.
Hope I can still eat this.
Yeah, you can still eat it. You check everything. Ooh, an aviator cap. Sweet. And then there's a clock. You might have to exit a car and re-enter it in order to get the stuff that's at the bottom of my seat. Just game mechanics. But we got everything out of this car. The other thing is always check the back. There's nothing back here. Check the tires. Sometimes there's a knife sticking out of the tire. Oh, I can't go around it. There's nothing there. There's nothing there. The other thing I like to do is I open the hood. So in my world, you'll find all these cars with their hoods open. That's an even easier way to let yourself know, I've already checked this car. I left the hood up. That means I've already been there. Sometimes there's a battery in here you can take out. In this case, there is not. Why would you take the battery out? Again, that's another part of the story that we haven't gotten to. All right, the birds are still going to make their noise. It's just what they do. Here's a piece of farm equipment. Sometimes there's a candy bar. There might be a soda in here. You never know. All right. When I started the game, I ended up in here before, so I've already searched everything, but you have a workbench in this little barn area, so that's going to be helpful. If it gets too cold in here, you can light a fire, but right now we're going to take the charcoal. This is the geography part I was talking about earlier. All right, so I'm surveying the local area. All right. That was one piece of charcoal. It's getting kind of dark. I probably should go back into my house. Everything out here is salvageable. I can cut all of these things down if I needed this wood. But for now, I don't need it, so we're not gonna take it. So let's go back into our house. Alrighty, we collected firewood. So we're going to put all this wonderful firewood in there. This bar right here, that indicates how much space I have for what goes in here. This actually is pretty much a really good indication of how much. I can put probably a little bit more in here. So I don't have much more room over here, and that's okay, because I have another space over here for, I have this fireplace here, which will keep the place nice and warm. So I probably will keep more firewood in here, or I could keep it in here. These drawers, unfortunately, never actually are fixable. I would hope, if a dev is listening to me, that you could find a way to fix these drawers, because that would be super great. But see how dark it's getting? That's because it's almost nighttime. So we need something to drink and something to eat. Let's have some sardines. It's only 300 calories, but and we'll drink something. All right, and we found an aviator cap. How ultra cool. And it's at 90%, which we don't have to repair it. All right, let's look at our... So before we had the aviator cap, it was at 38, but now it's at 42. The ambient temperature inside this house, regardless whether there's a blizzard outside or it's sunny outside, it's always going to be 23 degrees. Some houses are a little bit warmer than that, but in this case, it's a much airier kind of house, so there's more air, a place for air to get trapped in. That's why it's ideal and not ideal at the same time. So at some point, even though I made some repairs to it, I might move into town. There's houses in there that I actually like better, that have a fireplace in them. It only has 2 cooking spots, that one house I like. There's a big house on a hill. It's really nice. It has upstairs bedrooms, so that's pretty cool. It seems like a really big house, though, to be honest. So there's very different houses you can live in. If you're going to live in a house, some people like to just be nomad and just roam. So I left that video game. I'm going to tell you some stuff. I started that game believing that people were good, overall. Inherently good. That they had good intentions, that you could trust people online. And for the most part, when you get to know people, you actually can trust them. Everybody has an agenda or a purpose or a reason for the things that they do. And chances are when you meet someone online, the way they behave in a video game around a group of people is pretty much the way they act in real life. Now, some people would say that you take on a different personality, you pretend to be someone else. But deep down inside, what you see, what you hear, what you read about is really what you get. So you might find somebody online that you idolize. You think they're the best person in the world, and they're struggling. You might meet somebody who's really quiet, but in real life, they're the life of the party. I don't believe that one, actually. I think if you're quiet, you're going to stay quiet, whether you're online or not. But that game really showed me that I'm kind of sheltered. I like my little group of people, my friends, the people that follow me. I really like them a lot because you know what? I know them. But these people, I didn't know any of them. I didn't sign up to become anybody's best friend. I don't really want to know you that well. You're not going to make that kind of influence in my life. These people that were, and they're all adults, allegedly. It really makes me question whether or not some of them are actually adults. It really does. It makes me question who they really, really were. You know, every time you meet someone, regardless if they have a real picture of themselves, an AI picture of themselves, you know, who are they really? I had an AI picture. I had 3D pictures, you know, and then I had a real picture of myself. And then I made the mistake of lifting off the cover of my comic book. And of course, that fell into the hands of my enemies. And so they knew my first name, my last name, and it was some kind of ritual for one individual to dox me with my name, my real name. As if that was some kind of superiority, as if she had this power over me. And I'm like, you're calling me the name my mother, who is deceased, used to call me, and that, it means nothing to me. This person, this individual in this video game means absolutely nothing to me. She has no value at all. She has no authority at all. She has nothing at all. All she has is a fake made up name. Her favorite thing was to burn the bases of people who, after a certain time period went by, refused to come back to the game or didn't come back to the game or whatever. She wanted to kick them all out and just burn their bases. That was her kick. She loved to destroy. Now, if she loves to destroy things in a video game, imagine the relationships she likes to destroy in her real life. If she had children, does she like to destroy that relationship? Her parents, her neighbors, her exes? I don't know. It's so combative, so much. Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe in her real life, she is the victim. She's the one who always gets kicked to the side. She's the one who always gets ignored. She's the one. And there must be a reason for that. You don't usually get completely rejected in your real life unless it's a behavioral issue that you have yourself. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a clinical psychologist. I was a youth counselor for a while. I had to take classes in it. But I can assure you that some of those people that I was playing this game with are some real sociopaths and some really kind of crazy behaviors. They accused me of staging a coup. Okay, in order to stage a coup, that means you gather up your power players and you go off and you start a new alliance based off the original alliance you were in. Okay, I just described what they all did in reality. They went from a very powerful alliance. I was not a part of the alliance at the time, it was alleged by this person, this sociopath, that I wanted to become the R5, which is the leader. I did not. I left it because it was disgusting me. Their behavior, their revenge behavior was out of hand, out of control, and I left to go find something simpler, something better. I did not find that in that particular state. So that was a lie that was created by our sociopath friend that she invented, because when you're a pathological liar like she is, you have to keep coming up with bigger and bigger and bigger lies in order for people to believe. So one lie was that when I left, she went to the leader at the time and defended my decision. That is also a lie. She did not do that. And then she said she was demoted because she stood up for me. And after speaking with the then leader, that is also a lie. She was not demoted for that. She was demoted because she was told to come up with strategies and she refused to do so. It's so funny when people are caught up in their lies and they just keep piling them on and on and on. Anyways, up until yesterday, she would park her base next to mine to intimidate me. And it just made me laugh. I had to break my silence after a month and a half and just make a statement in state chat that said, I can move anywhere I want to in this entire, I don't need permission to move my base. I can move anywhere and you can park right next to me until kingdom come. Who cares? I mean, it's so childish. So childish. It's clearly sociopath. I mean, that's everything about her is that indication. Anyways, I did not stage a coup. I did not want to stage a coup. I was supposed to merge my alliance with another alliance. That alliance kind of took the reins. Then that alliance claimed that they didn't know what was going on. Then that alliance claimed that they didn't know that the people they had sent to my alliance to help me win a major event was all my plan. It was not my plan. It was something that was discussed openly. It was the idea of the person who moved into my alliance. This is really convoluted and confusing. But I think senility, dementia, sociopaths, all of that plays into it. Am I better off now? Yeah, I am. Does it give me a better understanding of the way the world works? Absolutely. Do I really see how a mob mentality can be a toxic one that can cause chaos, anger, fear? Yes, I can. Do these people actually think that if they all met in real life, that somebody would not take one look at them and say, who are you? What importance do you have? The reality is that they have spent thousands and thousands, up to tens of thousands of dollars for a game to exist, yet there's no return on it. You don't get an investment in it. You don't get prizes at the end that are real. You don't get glory or honor. None of that exists. It's just a video game. I mean, I can't remember the last time I spent more than $50 on a Steam game. This game, I think I spent $25. When they said that they had to charge people and they felt bad for it, I was right there to sign up and pay it because this is a great game, a great company. And if there was more DLCs, I would pay for them. But they're more concerned about the environment. Unlike the people that played that video game I was on my phone, all they cared about was their own, I don't know, it's their own self-righteousness as to what they were doing. So I love my YouTube community. I know sometimes I come across as harsh and uncaring, or sometimes I come across as angry. It's because I'm still trying to discover my identity, even at my age. But I am very grateful for all you guys that are listening to this. And I know that in the end, I'm never going to go back to mobile games ever again. I'm never going to go back. I'll take that back. I do have these silly little games like solitaire, and there's one about you fill up this little vial with colored sand. Simplistic, juvenile games that don't involve alliances, that don't involve people coming across and being narcissistic, pathological, sociopathic, having these kinds of delusional mentalities. I mean, I could get into the whole couple. There was a couple in this game that were married, in the game. In real life, one of them has a lot of children. Apparently has a very, their spouse they consider to be boring. That's why they took to the game. But unfortunately, with their drinking problem that they had on the weekends, they took it a little too far with some of the other players, moving it from the game into Discord. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to have anything to do with people I don't know on my Discord. As you know, I have my own server. You now have to apply to be a part of it. It seems dumb that I did that, but it's to keep these people out. And they're not going to join my Discord anyways. But back to that weird relationship this person had with this other person who also has a family. And you got to wonder, I wonder what their spouses would think of their behaviors online. Would they really agree with them? Would they say, oh, that's great. I'm glad that you're avoiding me, your spouse, not spending time with your kid or your kids so that you can go and have this debauchery online. Sure, yeah, that's a great plan. Or maybe they agree with it. Maybe they're also part of the team. Maybe they're also online. Who knows? All I know is that my time with that particular game is over with. I deleted it. I uninstalled it. It's such a pain in the rear to get it back. I'm grateful to move on. And I'm back to YouTube. So hopefully I can stream live soon and JTM can show up and we can hang out and it'll be a good time. And yes, I did get Ark. Yes, I did get Bunny Guys. Yes, I do have Peak. Will I get Repo? I don't know, maybe. But thanks for listening. Thanks for joining me in my game, and I'll see you guys soon.